Welcome to another horrid, terrible, despicable, depressing, suicide-inducing episode of the apocalypse. Congratulations, by the way, for choosing the apocalypse. You see, what you don't realize about the apocalypse, this show and reality, is you have a rare opportunity to actually live out what we're discussing. To live out the show is what I mean. Consider yourself lucky, I guess. Or not. For it will not be pleasant. But I did not choose it. I was only summoned here. Because you have chosen it to guide you through it. Those who dare listen. Let us begin. Trump orders military to target foreign drug cartels. When the second I read this headline, I know Donnie's a Nazi. I know he wants to take over half the globe, annex it. I know he's already tried to sneak troops into Mexico, and Scheinbaum told him to fuck off. So when I read this headline, all I think of is, an excuse to get American troops into Mexico. So, he can start taking that over or something. Because that stuff will happen, I'm telling you. The Greenland, the Canada, Mexico, Suez, Panama. Eventually, some of those territories will be taken. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Prepare yourself. And this might be a backdoor way for the Mexican part, to get our troops into Mexico. I have a feeling that's what this is about. One more time, Trump orders military to target foreign drug cartels. That's the New York Times. That's what I woke up to. If you'd like to see, well, I've lost it. There it is. Gee, what does that mean? Target foreign drug cartels. I guess we're going to find out, huh? For Caesar has proclaimed it. This is about Israel and the red heifer, which is like a cow or something that has a certain color, obviously, and other features that are desirable to the Jewish people that are into this whole thing. The building of the third temple. This is the second thing I saw this morning. Just popped up in my feed. I thought it was interesting. The Temple Institute has failed to breed a qualified red heifer to sacrifice in preparation for the rebuilding of the third temple, despite 2 decades of extensive breeding attempts in both Israel and the United States. Remember, I just read you something yesterday about Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, being part of some movement that helped get some of these animals over to Israel recently. So I just found this, extra interesting. It kind of was talking about the same literal thing. I don't know if I'm buying the story, though. I don't know why they would lie about it, but, maybe there's a reason. Maybe they don't want people to think they're so prepared as they are, because they are. And if they don't have the proper sacrifice now, they'll get it, when they need it. It will happen. In a Facebook post, the Israeli organization acknowledged that all our efforts so far have been frustrated by the appearance of more than one non-red hair on all our potential candidates. This disqualification applies even to the red heifers flown in from Texas, all of which have failed to meet the strict halakhic standards. Now, flown in from Texas, maybe those are the ones Mike Johnson had them bring in or helped bring in. That's probably why this is being mentioned that way. According to Jewish law, the red heifer must be sacrificed on the Mount of Olives overlooking the Temple Mount. The site is chosen because it lies directly east of the temple, allowing the priests performing the ritual to see into the area of the Holy of Holies. The ashes of the red heifer are used for ritual purification. I lost my place. I'm sorry, I had to move the page. Ritual purification, which is considered a necessary step before the rebuilding of the temples. Okay, so they have to do the sacrifice before they rebuild it. I didn't know that. I thought the sacrifice would be done like at the temple once it was built. I didn't know it had to precede it. Which is considered a necessary step before the rebuilding of the temple and resumption of sacrificial worship. So they're saying there will be more sacrifices after that. I assume those would be at the temple. Orthodox Jews associated with the Temple Institute believe that the Mashiach, their Messiah, shall arrive after the rebuilding of the third temple in Jerusalem and the resumption of sacrifices. Well, in a way, you guys are right. But in a big way, you're wrong. Because before the Mashiach comes, the Antichrist comes. The guy you people are in league with right now. Who tricks you into thinking he's something wonderful and on your team and then betrays you. That's in the story. You people know the story. Why are you ignoring that part? I guess if you don't ignore that part, you'd have to accept Jesus Christ to become a Christian. If you acknowledge the Messiah already came. So by sticking to your guns here, you will end up following, and some of you already are, the Antichrist. It's in the story. It's been known for a long time, people. This isn't breaking news I'm saying right now. Anyone who studied prophecy in any way, even lightly, understands that there's a person that comes that some of the Jews, obviously not all of them, follow, and that they consider like a Messiah because they don't believe the Messiah has come. So in the Christian part of the Bible, it basically explains, well, a portion of the Jews go along with the Antichrist. And they get deceived. And they get betrayed. So yeah, the temple does have to be built. They're right about that, but that's not a good thing. Because the Antichrist does something horrible with that temple or in it. Something like that. All hell breaks loose at some point after that happens. There's a huge battlefield. The real Messiah comes back. That's what the story says. I'm just telling you what the story says, man. So, the Jewish people that are down with this here are skipping over something called the Messiah already came, but that's, kind of the difference between a Christian and a Jewish person who practices Judaism. You believe the Messiah has not come. You're waiting. That's the literal story in Scripture. That the Messiah is not accepted by his own people, a portion of them, the ones in control anyway. And they wait forever for the real Messiah. And when he shows up, he's not the Messiah. He's the Antichrist that the Christians talk about. And it's in the Old Testament as well, these prophecies. So it's known that this person is out there, even in the Old Testament. The part that the Jews take seriously. They're just ignoring it. And Netanyahu's the type of guy, I'll work with anyone as long as it, advances my agenda of the glory of Israel. He's made a deal with the devil. It will not go well for him. But what are they saying here basically? Well, we haven't found the right cow yet. And according to what I read, it sounds like if it has more than one non-red hair, boy, that's got to be a painstaking, pain-in-the-ass process, huh? Going through each individual hair on the cow to make sure they're all red or not more than one isn't. Holy fuck. Don't worry, when the time comes when they need a cow, they will find a cow. Don't worry. And it'll happen. And when that day comes, or when they announce, yes, we're going to start rebuilding the temple on this date, whatever, I'm going to be rather stunned by that, because that's just like Donnie's assassination day. It's prophecy literally playing out before our eyes. Again, Donnie, remember that the whole world got to see that assassination attempt day. Only in this era is that possible. Even when television first began, it didn't really reach everywhere. But now with the smartphone and just a million different ways, satellite radio, just so many different things. And television, my God, now there's satellite TV. So TV's basically everywhere now. In other words, any event can now spread worldwide. The whole world can see it. A lot of the prophecies in Revelation talk about the whole world seeing it. Different events that happen. Like the head wound one. Like the fire raining from the heavens one. Only in this era is that possible. Only in this era is an image of yourself that can go forth and do things and say things and represent you. Only in this era is that possible. Never before. So let's move on. They just can't find the right red cow according to them. I don't know if I'm buying the story though. And I know when the time comes, don't worry, there'll be a red cow just conveniently available. Don't worry. The Lebanese owner of Trump Burger in Houston has been arrested by ICE for overstaying his visa and now faces deportation. That's MAGA in a nutshell right there. Voting for putting your name on, putting your own foot up your own ass. Literally. This person thought Trump was great, thought MAGA was great, opens up a restaurant in that honor. How does he get repaid by the Reich when his, hero of a politician gets elected? He gets grabbed for deportation. Come on, Donnie, give him a break. Look, he opened a cult restaurant. And the sticker or one of the things there is Trump was right about everything. I wonder if the guy still feels like Trump is right about everything. Because if Donnie's right about everything, I guess he's in the right to deport this cult member. But again, how many times have I said it? The Latin community, he said he was going to deport every damn one of you people. This guy's Lebanese, but whatever. The ethnic minorities in this country, I guess I'm talking to, all of you of the different ethnicities. He said he was going to round people up and ship them out the country. There's people that came here from all different parts of the world. You didn't think that could be you? A guy even opens up a Donnie restaurant, a MAGA restaurant, and the masked guys with a machine gun just come in and grab him. Isn't that amazing? That's usually what happens when you make a deal with the devil. That's the end result. You getting fucked over. You getting betrayed. Trump was right about everything, says the Lebanese Trump restaurant, MAGA restaurant owner who the Gestapo grabbed. Again, there was 1 million people online and on television warning everyone not to do it. Phoenix just hit 118 degrees, the hottest August day in city history. Phoenix was even hotter than Furnace Creek in Death Valley. It was hotter than Death Valley, son. Did you hear me? Yeah, that's not normal. That's not normal. This person's talking about meat prices are crazy. I can't see the prices in the tag. They're over $10 a pound. I can see that. But everybody knows that this is real, and I want to keep talking about it. I don't want it to be lost in the shuffle. Prices for groceries are going up. Meat is at an all-time high. This doesn't seem like it's going in the right direction, Rubes. And I know a lot of you say online and say to people, I voted for lower grocery prices. I didn't vote for this. Yes, you did vote for that. You knew exactly what you were voting for. And no, you weren't voting for lower grocery prices. Please, spare me. Spare me, son. When Donnie left last time, the economy was in fucking shambles. There was a fucking plague, for fuck's sake. So now he comes back and he's wreaking havoc again to the point meat's fucking, over $10 a pound. What the fuck? There's a phrase in scripture, I believe it's in Revelation, a measure of wheat for a denarius. And what it means is some food for basically a day's wage. And it's making a statement that, food prices, the cost of food will be so high, it'll take a working man's whole day's wage to get a meal. I don't like the sound of that. Now, we could think of the plague that happened, COVID. I don't know if we reached that point. I don't think we did. But I'm getting the feeling now, with what I'm seeing with meat and the animal die-offs and shit, it's like accelerated. And Donnie's like some force of fucking evil fucking everything up. I'm just getting the feeling that we're going to creep towards that now. The beginning of it, shit like this. A lot of things are happening to like livestock herds that we don't know about, that I've read about, and I'm not going to go into it all right now. That's not the point. There's things in scripture that talk about 1/3 of basically food is gone. Animals, plants, everything. So, measure of wheat for a denarius and, 1/3 of everything gone. That don't sound very good to me. That sounds like there would be fights over food. And speaking of that, I saw a video today of Palestinians, Gazans. They dropped food with parachutes, different crates. And wherever there was a crate, you just saw this crowd of people running in dust and just all dirt and nothing. It's not a good look. Israel. It's really not a good look, man. In other words, what I'm trying to say is over there, I don't like where it is. I don't like where it's going. Retribution has been gotten. I don't think there's a need to take it further, but it's going to go further. BBC's in the moment, and so will Donnie. Donnie needs this for some reason. He wants it really badly. This whole Israel thing that's going on. Top agenda. One of the top agendas. So food prices going up. I'm worried about us getting to that point because of Donnie's constant grifts and intentional dismantling. Don't forget that's going on as well. I'm worried we're going to get to that point where it takes a day's wage to get a meal or something like that. Of course, that won't bother the rich, but, everybody else would be fucked. And I just wonder if eventually America's going to have scenes like in Gaza. Because a percentage of America chose the abyss. And the leader that will take them there. Guaranteed. I really wonder if we'll see something like that. Crowds of Americans running for parachute-dropped food. Because you are being dismantled. You understand that, right? And that's intentional. And Vlad owns that orange thing right now. Vlad never had good intentions for you, your family, or their future, ever. In fact, it's been his life's mission to get retribution for the CIA ruining Russia back during the Reagan era. Do I blame them for doing it? No. It's our main competitor in the world, main enemy. No. They won a battle at that point. Vlad never got over that. Here's Donnie knives that he's giving away. Everyone who clicks this post, you get a free Donnie American flag knife. Very nice. Donnie posted that on his money laundering. I wonder what grift this is. I don't even know. I don't want to know. All I know is Donnie's giving knives away if you click on something, and that the president posted that. Leon Scum appears now to be the most hated person in America according to new research. Well, he's earned it. He was up on a stage waving a chainsaw as he was firing people en masse, as he was cutting aid programs that have contracts with farms to grow food, to give to foreign countries, to give to other places in the United States. So farmers lost contracts with those programs. Overseas third world nations that, pretty much probably their only food was the food we sent them. That got cut. And again, to do that for a third world nation when you don't have to, that's a very Christ-like thing to do. We should be proud of it. And I know every rube to make an argument will say we can't help everybody, and they're right, we can't help everybody, but we can help some people. So for Leon to have outpaced Donnie as the most hated person in America, that's a fucking achievement. It also lends credence to what I say about them. They're the same person, just one's younger, one's older. They have the same aspirations. They think they deserve to rule the world. They both have a God complex. They think they're the most wonderful thing ever. That's why Leon was co-chancellor for a minute. Remember that. Standing right next to the president with his little son telling Donnie to go get his shine box. And he still has a lot of power. He's got a lot of money. He can back whoever. And Donnie, believe me, Donnie has not forgotten the amount of money this jerk-off has. And he will come back into the picture. He never really left. He helped build all this, literally. Co-chancellor. Until he wasn't. So, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy. I mean, Leon thought it was all fun and games, all gacked up on a stage with some cheesy glasses and a cheesy hat and a fucking chainsaw, celebrating the ruining of people's lives. When you reduce it all down, that's what he was doing. And it's sad that some of you out there thought it was wonderful. You wouldn't think it was wonderful if you got laid off from your job by a fat fucking South African. You wouldn't think it was funny. Like the people that, that happened to the people at Twitter at first. Then it happened to the people in government second. And it didn't matter if you were MAGA or not. That was irrelevant. If the AI picked you, then it picked you, son. Why do you think they had to hire so many people back? Because they deployed the AI to fire people with a certain criteria. They did. The AI did. Then they realized, oh shit, we do need some of these people to run things. Fuck. Same thing happened at Twitter. Leon ended up having to, get certain people to come back. Or beg them to. The audacity. The fucking audacity. And again, it's totally understandable that he's the most hated. I forgot he had the black eye. That's the picture they're using here. He got in a little scuffle with Besson, the Treasury Secretary. Remember that? There's so much shit you forget about these things. This fucking freak, on his way out the door as co-chancellor, gets in a scuffle with the Treasury Secretary. And gets a black eye out of it because I think Besson popped him one or something. I totally forgot about it. Leon has a black eye on his way out the door. Incredible. I mean, just that alone should tell you what's coming your way. Chaos, disorder, evil, craziness. You got co-chancellor Leon, Nazi salute guy, getting in a scuffle with the Treasury Secretary. On his way out, getting thrown under the bus by Donnie. I told you he throws everyone. Everyone. I've been yelling it for years. Even the co-chancellor that financed his campaign, he told him to fuck off. Appeals court ends contempt inquiry for Trump officials. So that's another win. They're showing CCOT in the background. I guess maybe it's for not turning over information or something. Who the fuck knows? All I know is it's another win for the Reich via the courts. Contempt inquiry goes away. Great news. And the death camp, if you want to take a look at it. Beautiful, right, Rubes? $15 million of your money. To house men for the rest of their lives who will probably be exterminated at some point, because I don't trust Bukele to keep these men alive for another 50 years. No. I'm sorry. We all know where concentration camps end up going, oftentimes. Here's Donnie. He wrote a thesis on how great the tariffs are, and he said he's afraid of a judge that's about to rule the tariffs unconstitutional or just that he can't do it and rescind them. So basically what he said, and I'm not going to read you this whole thing. Let's not waste our time. I'll just tell you what he's saying. He's saying the tariffs are wonderful. They're making the economy so strong. The tariffs are working very strongly. If some judge strikes my tariffs down, it's going to be the Great Depression all over again. Now, before the tariffs, it wasn't the Great Depression. After the tariffs, well, when they first got instituted, the Dow dropped 6,000, son. That's trillions of dollars, you know that. And it recovered because, Donnie gave the right exemptions to the right people and everyone else, fuck you. So he's literally saying in this thesis, my tariffs are wonderful. They're making the economy so strong. If some judge strikes these down, it's going to be the straight up Great Depression again. Literal inversion of reality. And again, why does he love these tariffs so much? Why is he all about them? I'm sorry, son. The only logical answer is he benefits in some way. And the way I can think that he benefits is he just pockets it. It's his own personal piggy bank of extra taxes. I'm sure he looks at it that way. Like a child would. Oh, that's my special tax. That's for me. I'm not joking. I mean, just again, go read the thesis. Go read it. Trump wants UCLA to pay $1 billion to restore its research funding. So straight up extortion of a major institution. I told the oligarchy, I told you the people with money, he will never stop knocking on your fucking door. Now he's demanding $1 billion, but this is how. I want to be fair here. He wants the school, in order to get their funding back, I have it detailed later, to put up a fund of $1 billion to pay out judgments for people that were anti-Semitic discriminated against. Jews, I guess, that were discriminated against. So he's going to force a college to make payments to people that he says were discriminated against to the tune of $1 billion. One thing that I didn't get out of these stories is who would control the fund and disperse it. I have a feeling Donnie would want the government to do that. Just a hunch. I'm not saying he said that. I'm just saying just a hunch. That the college would not be in charge of that $1 billion to pay out in judgments for their anti-Semitic practices. Again, this is way over the top. I'm the protector of the Jews stuff here. So there's something at the end of this rainbow that Donnie really covets. I know what the man in the story covets. I know what the devil covets. Worship. As if they were God. Well, there's a third temple in this story. $1 billion. Do you know how much $1 billion? A college is just going to put that up and just give it to people so they can get their funding? These numbers are insane. Harvard might give $500 million. Again, are these colleges going to control this fund? Is Donnie going to tell them who to disperse it to? Like me? Like his own pocket? Is the government going to control it? Because if the government controls it, that tells me it's Donnie's personal piggy bank to give out to certain Jewish people that he wants to continue to keep the Jewish community on his side. The ones that believe in him. Netanyahu's people. He needs them to believe that he is, the Superman, super Jewish protector for some reason. Again, knowing the story I know. And who I think he is. And again, what does Donnie seem to crave most of all? Adoration. It's a real sickness he has. Can't stand the fact of people not liking him. If you're a human on this planet, you better, reconcile with the fact that some people are not going to like you. Donnie's psyche can't handle that. And he's got a God complex. I don't know why. So $1 billion fund to pay victims of anti-Semitism at that school. So that's money that's being funneled to specific Jewish people. Who would decide that? Who would manage the fund and disperse it? I'm guessing the government. I'm guessing the Reich. I mean, how many times have we seen this? Different institutions, companies, countries ponying up sums of money because Donnie just demands it. And the sums of money, my God, the numbers. There's something not right about this. Does this seem normal to you? Again, leave your political beliefs at the fucking door, out on the porch. Does this seem fucking normal? Extorting a college for $1 billion. What good will that do you, son? What is the purpose of this? What grift is going on here? Because it's an obvious one. Extortion is legal if Donnie does it. That's where we're at. Oh, the big summit in the White House with Donnie and the leader of Armenia and the leader of Azerbaijan. I know we were all looking forward to it. I know the whole world is talking about it. It's the biggest peace treaty ever. It's such a huge event. I know. So what basically happened? Again, we're not going to do the words today on these. This is what it looked like. And basically what happened, the leaders from Armenia and Azerbaijan do a promo in favor of Trump winning the Nobel. So we know what this whole theater is about. We knew it before it happened. I mean, who even thinks of Armenia and Azerbaijan? No one. No one in America, anyway. And I'm not saying those countries, they're not good, they're not worthy, whatever. I just, we don't talk about Armenia and Azerbaijan. All of a sudden, Donnie busts out, oh yeah, I've been working on this thing with them for a long time. No, he hasn't. He keeps going to these different conflicts, pointing at him, saying, I fixed it, give me a Nobel Peace Prize. It's ridiculously pathetic. You're not supposed to ask for it. You're not supposed to constantly do a commercial week after week on why you should get the Nobel. So that's basically what the meeting was. These two leaders, praised him, kissed his ass, said he should get the Nobel, says, how great and wonderful this all is, as if Donnie had anything to do with any of it. Again, no casualties military for over a year between these two parties. So it seems like they kind of made peace on their own way before Donnie, came on the scene for the second time. This is just fucking pathetic. Having two world leaders from two small countries, you pretend that you had something to do with some treaty. This is the third or fourth time he's pulling this little piece of theater on us, by the way. He said he should get it for the Israel-Palestine peace. I don't see it. The Russia-Ukraine peace. I don't see it. The India-Pakistan peace. Okay, there's a peace there, but they both say he has nothing to do with it. And now we've got the Armenia-Azerbaijan peace. And once again, putting the hand out. Give me the Nobel. Oh my God, he wants it so bad. And wait till you hear what he said later. Trump's event with leaders from Armenia and Azerbaijan has now turned into a Trump worship session. So again, he brought these two people from these two small countries over to adore and praise him in front of you and explain why he should get the Nobel. Again, does this help any of us? No. Once again, everything's about Donnie. About getting him some trophy. As your country takes, a nosedive into the fucking shitter. And then he'll go golfing tomorrow, or maybe he went tonight. Or today, because, we really didn't see him that much. So he's probably already on the golf course. So again, these two leaders from a small country came here, praised him, said why he should get the Nobel. There hasn't been a scratch on any of their soldiers in over a year. What a fucking joke this is. And again, we're getting down to like tiny little countries now, Not that there's anything wrong with a small country, but if you want a Nobel, making a peace between Ukraine and Vlad, if someone did that, maybe you could, say maybe that's worthy of it. If it's Donnie, no. Donnie just bombed 3 countries in his first 6 months. I'm sorry. You're not the man of peace, even though you're doing the act. So basically what we have is Donnie taking credit for a ceasefire that happened a year ago. Saying he's been working on it a long time with these two parties. Yeah, sure, Donnie. You just don't want a Nobel Peace Prize. And again, wait till you hear what he said later about it when they brought it up. The reporters. For the love of God, just give this guy a peace prize so we can stop hearing about it. That's Aaron Rupar. So the reporters asked him about the peace prize. And he said, well, he went into a whole speech about it, about him getting it. But he opened it with this. Well, I should, and I know I'm not of a certain persuasion. But, and later on he said, I'm not trying to politic it. I'm not politicking it for it. I'm not politicking for it. When he's literally politicking for it. And this is like the 4th time. He wanted the Nobel for the India-Pakistan thing. Remember, he put out posts, and Miss Levitt explained that he's made 6 world peaces in 6 months. That's 1 a month. They said this shit. India, Pakistan. He stuck his hand out in front of us. I want the Nobel. Give me the Nobel. Don't I deserve the Nobel? Russia, Ukraine. Said he had a peace. I want the Nobel. Israel, Palestine. Said we had peace. I want the Nobel. Now we're getting to the pathetic point of Armenia and Azerbaijan. Nothing against you people. That's not what I'm talking about here. You know what I mean. Don't even play that game. So this is the 4th time we're doing this dance, not to mention in between the dances, Donnie, Miss Levitt, whoever, doing advertisements for Donnie getting the Nobel Peace Prize. The Antichrist, for fuck's sake. Yes, he is. I'm serious. The irony. One of the most evil entities ever born wants the Nobel Peace Prize and putting on daily theater in hopes the whole world rallies around it. And the reporter framed the question like this. In Sweden, wherever it is, Switzerland, in October, whatever, on the 10th, they're going to pick the winner of the Peace Prize. And Donnie's eyes lit up. Because he knew he'd get to give his speech on why he should get it. Like a child. You ready for this? I thought about this earlier. It's like watching a child, I don't know, a month before Christmas, explain for the 16 millionth time to his parents or parent why he wants this action figure or something that he wants so bad. I'll clean my room extra, Mommy, if you get it for me or if Santa brings it. I'll do this, I'll do that. I've been good, I think I deserve it. I really want this action figure. Over and over again. I did it as a child, my brother did it, we all did it. Something we wanted for Christmas or our birthday or whatever. And we're trying to convince our parents that, we deserve it, we're good, whatever. Whatever route we took with the argument. As greedy little children. So Donnie, I forgot. I glossed over. Forgive me. Donnie said in his big speech, he opened it up with, I know I'm not of a certain persuasion. Now, how many times have I said to you, in his fucked up, combed over head, covered in orange paint, he thinks, all the way back in the beginning of last time he was president, he thinks, the black guy got the Nobel, why can't I? What the fuck? He just proved the million times I said that over the years. He just proved me right when he said it. And yes, he said it. I watched the videos today. I know I'm not of a certain persuasion. My jaw dropped. What? And later on in the speech, he said, I'm not politicking for it. Donnie, this is the 4th time you're politicking for it just this term as president, not counting last term. And you have other people politicking. You have taxpayer-funded workers saying why you should get the Nobel Peace Prize. Oh my God. This theater today. That's why I'm not going over it word for word. It was ridiculous. Worship and theater. And again, no one loves worship and adoration more than Donnie. That's why he wants to be Pope. He wants the Nobel. He wants it all. Every title you could fucking have. Every honor, every title. He's got a fucking God complex. He's a sick, sick man. And he's spending your money like water, and so's Miss Gnome and a bunch of other... Hegseth, my God. Speaking of Miss Gnome, South Park is really getting to her. And I don't understand why. I thought they made her look pretty good in comparison to what she really looks like. They should have made her a stick figure, because that would have been more accurate. So she got really pissed about how they made her look, and she accused the show of, I don't know, making fun of how a woman looks, blah, blah, blah. She's putting people in death camps, and she's, out there trying to build up rage about them making fun of her on South Park, for fuck's sake. My God, you people are pathetic. Actual post by the American government. This is Homeland Security. This is Miss Gnome. This is a puppy killer. It's her department. She posts a picture of herself depicted in South Park and tries to turn it into a positive. No, it's not a positive. Because all they did was show her, all they did is they kept showing her shooting puppies. It was quite gruesome to watch, actually. It definitely had an impact. So, in my opinion, they made her look better than she looks in real life. She actually looked like a woman with, some fat on her. A woman is supposed to have fat on her. It's just women actually carry more. Naturally. So when you take that all away, it kind of looks skeletal. So you got to be careful. Just some advice. So I thought, I didn't think she looked that bad on the cartoon. I think she looked the representation of her was a better one than what she actually looks like in real life. Because man, you take a paint scraper and get that makeup off her face, you're gonna be in for a rough night if you keep the lights on. Let me put it that way. Holy fuck. So yeah, she's trying to turn it into a positive and make it, no, you already bitched about it. You already gave the game away that you're furious, fuming mad about it. When's the right going to start going after the South Park people that make that show? I'm not even a fan of it, but I'm not putting it down either. It's just something I never really got into. But I know they've made political statements and societal statements I understand that concept, and that's important for shows to be able to do if they're presenting reality in their statement, and South Park does seem to do that. Donnie announcing a big meeting. And you know what came to mind for me as soon as I read this? The highly anticipated meeting between myself as President of the United States of America. Oh, we didn't know, Donnie. Thanks for telling us. And President Vladimir Putin of Russia will take place next Friday, August 15, 2025. No one anticipated this meeting. He's had phone calls, he's had meetings, he's had all kinds of things. And it gets nowhere because Vlad's in charge and Donnie isn't. Donnie Krasnov. That's real, son. Look up who Krasnov was in Russia. You'll understand. Once you read that, oh, yeah, it's real. It's real. It will take place in Alaska. Okay. Alaska used to belong to Russia. I get that whole thing. First thing I thought is, what is he going to, live on camera, say, I'm giving Alaska back to Vlad Putin in exchange for a Nobel Peace Prize or something. He's crazy enough to do that shit. But I'm not serious. I don't think he's going to do it. But then again, you never know what the orange fucking maniac's going to do. Meeting Vlad Putin in Alaska. Zelensky ain't there. So again, it's not a real meeting. Zelensky would have to agree on whatever terms, and we already know the terms. Vlad wants certain areas of Ukraine to keep, and eventually he'll take all of it. Those are the terms. Zelensky can't agree to those. So I'll be stunned if any of this talk results in anything. Here we go again. Maybe they're meeting in Alaska. It's a quick point to get, travel point to get back to Russia. I wonder what Donnie's giving him. Because I know Donnie ain't coming empty-handed. Absolutely fucking not. There's a reason it's happening in Alaska. It's a very symbolic kind of thing because it used to belong to Russia. And I could just see him doing that, though. Just saying, I'm giving it back. You're Russians now. The Antichrist would hate to do it, but for a Nobel, for Vlad to stop fighting, he would do it. But again, I'm not serious. I don't expect him to give Alaska away, but that's the first thing that popped into my head when I read he's meeting Vlad in Alaska. He's going to give it back? After freezing $584 million in federal funding to the UCLA over anti-Semitism, the UCLA, I guess so, the White House is demanding a $1 billion settlement. The settlement, okay, if it's a settlement with the White House specifically, yeah, then Donnie's pocketing the money. Okay, I get it now. The settlement would establish a $172 million fund to compensate Jewish students at UCLA who allege discrimination. So Donnie takes 172, puts it in an account for discrimination, pockets the rest. I get it now. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. This person, too, they thought the same thing when they got the news. A little banner came up on their phone, I guess. Trump says he will meet with Putin in Alaska next Friday. That's the Wall Street Journal breaking news. And this person said he's going to give it back, isn't he? Literally, that was my first instinctual Rorschach test thought. What's he going to give it back to him? What just occurred to me while I was on camera, though, no, he's going to give him something else, though. I'm sure it'll be very valuable as well. And God knows what that'll be. Files, secrets. Who knows? No one will tell us. And we're at the end, people. I told you there wasn't that much today. It's Friday, and no one's probably going to watch this anyway. But it's got to keep rolling. And some of these things I found very interesting today. So here we go again. We'll do the song and dance where Donnie goes and meets Vlad, and he'll come back and he'll be like, well, it was productive, but Vlad will not stop unless he gets to keep the territory he wants to keep. The Ukrainians don't want to give any of their country away to a murderous dictator mobster. Would you want to give some of your property away, son? No, you wouldn't. Especially people who came in and raped, murdered, and pillaged your fellow citizens or your locality. So we're going to have some more theater where Donnie pretends he achieved some great treaty between Russia and Ukraine. Now give me my Nobel. We're going to go through that dance again as well. Isn't this exhausting? 6 months we've watched the same tariff grift over and over again, and it's still going. We've watched him put his hand out for the Nobel over and over again as if he's had anything to do with any treaty between anybody. As he deploys military on our streets, our own military. As he deploys guys en masse with machine guns, and now they're going to let 18-year-olds join. As he opens up concentration camps, and one of them's a camp that you never leave in El Salvador, that he helped finance with $15 million. Of your money, of course. Donnie doesn't pay for things. He uses your money to pay for things. And again, people, as always, all roads lead to the temple. All roads lead to the mark. They're slow walking us into it, and not even that slow. Again, I see through every presentation by RFK, Dr. Oz, Donnie, Hegseth. They're all giving the game away by the language they use. I know a lot of you out there don't see it. And you just see a dude on camera being dramatic, but I know eugenicists talk and Reich talk in 2 seconds when I hear it. And I know I understand the concept of presenting it in some modern way. Not that they have to, because let's be honest, the Rubes don't know actual history. They don't know the formula of a Reich, the formula they're living in right now. They don't know what it looks like. They're not that smart. They could have been. Anyway, I got to get going. Always remember, when the mark comes, when that time comes, I may not even be here. You must say no, no matter what it costs you. Otherwise, it costs you everything for all time. Once you take it, you cannot trade back. You cannot say, I'm sorry, I change my mind. It's one of the few things that is basically irredeemable. The second you say yes, the second you sign on the dotted line, and a lot of you will, because the prospect of losing everything to defy evil, including your life possibly, that's a foreign concept to all humans. I hope it doesn't come to that, but what I'm seeing doesn't give me confidence that it won't. It seems there's no bounds to the cruelty a certain percentage of our population enjoys. So lines will be crossed that you can't even imagine. But again, when the mark comes, you must say no. That's always my final message. It's the most important message. Do yourself a favor and say no to it, even though it may hurt for a while. So people, I'm going to go, and until the next episode, if you'd like to help, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. I'd appreciate it. I work hard on this. I really look for what I think you should be seeing. Not to make me right or someone else wrong. For both of us, you and I. So we can get to the real truth of it. Where it's actually going. And as always, I have to remind you, I say this over and over because I mean it. I really want to be wrong. Because if I'm right, I've been saying this for years. If I'm right, then a lot of bad things happen. I don't want those bad things to happen. Even though the most horrific things will happen to people that don't like me very much. Or my perspective very much. They have a different idea on how life should be. So even though, I'm not really with you people, ideologically, I still don't want you to have to face what you're going to have to face. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. And because you chose this, a lot of us out here are going to have to face some serious horrors as well. Anyway, I got to go. Again, if you'd like to help, I'll put the PayPal at the top of the comment section. I hope you people have a wonderful evening. I have to upload this, so you'll be seeing it much later than it took place. Have a wonderful evening, and until the next episode of the apocalypse, have a wonderful night.